you the area where Travis and his friends had the sighting of the Dogman here at Storrs Lake in Wisconsin. This is the paved road that leads back into the parking lot, and then the Ice Age Trail is further on, and it goes through the park. And there is Storrs Lake on this side. You can see the water down there. And on this side is the pond, which has no name other than the pond. And they were down about this far, just walking along this road here. And the being came up the hill. At first they thought it was a deer, and then because it was so big they thought it was a bear, which we're not supposed to have bear here, not this far south, although I'm sure there's the occasional bear here. And then when it ran past them, Travis said that he noticed that the back legs were dog legs. And this is what they were looking for, was the Dogman. I just want to show you how steep this is coming up from the pond here. It goes straight down. There's just a drop off along here. But as you can see, there's marshes out here. There are other ponds out here. There's wooded area that just goes back that way as far as into Lima Marsh, and I'm sure there's plenty of good eating in here. But this is where it came running up to this road, ran past them, and disappeared into the woods on the other side. Now Bowers Lake is over in that direction, back behind the woods. So there's two lakes and a pond here, marshes, more water, shallow water, deep water. There's all kinds of things in here. Lots of tall pines in the back. So it came running up here, ran across the road and into those woods there. The boys then ran to their vehicle, which was parked down there, and they decided that they'd come out here to see the Dogman. They wanted to see it. They got back out of their car and came back down this paved road again, looking for the Dogman. They were dragging bloody venison around in here, trying to lure something, and I think they made something mad, because then they were walking down this way, down this paved road. And remember, it's pitch dark out here. There are no lights out here at night. And I think he said it was around 11 o'clock. And they're walking down this road, imagine this. And right about where those posts are, the white and black posts, now there was heavy brush along the roads at that time. The volunteers have since cleared a lot of this area out, so it no longer grows up deep so much along the road here. But he said that they saw it standing about here. And you can see that Storrs Lake is through there. It was standing here in the brush. They didn't see it from about the waist down. It had its arms at its sides almost. And its eyes weren't glowing, they were just yellow. It didn't growl at them, it didn't make a move towards them, it didn't try to scare them, but they were scared anyway. So they ran back for their vehicle, back down the road, and took off and didn't come back until we interviewed him. The day we interviewed him out here, and you can see that video on my YouTube page, we went down by this pond over here where it first had run up from, and we found all kinds of tracks down there. Some of them looked like they had claw marks. They were very large. they were just going by the pond and probably drinking water or something. That's on my page too, I think. You could see the footprints and stuff, and we cast a few. And while we were down there, we smelled something awful. And in my video, you'll hear me say, "Oh God, what is that smell?" And then a couple minutes later, or a minute later, my friend and Travis, who were closer this way than I was farther down that way, said, "Oh my God, what is that smell?" And it just wafted through, and then it was gone. So it was twice that it came through. And I know I've seen 2 Bigfoot in here. There was 3 of us together. We saw 2 Bigfoot way down in that area. My friend was looking at a stick structure, trying to understand it, and he noticed movement in the woods, and it was summertime, so it was very, very dense. And we ran to the car and got the binoculars, and we could see what looked to me about a 5-foot younger one, because it didn't have any hair on its face, and the face was light, a light color, very light, almost Caucasian, and sort of like a young orangutan, and mixed with human, maybe. And it was just staring straight on at us. It wasn't moving. And next to the tree, you could see a taller, hairy being that was probably 2 foot taller, hiding halfway behind a tree. My friend surmised that maybe it was a mother and her young teaching him how to behave when humans spotted him, because they stood perfectly still then. And then by the time we kept passing the binoculars around between the 3 of us so we could keep looking because it was fascinating, they just melted back into the woods. I'm not saying they disappeared or anything like that. I'm just saying they were gone. And the brush was so heavy that all they had to do was just sit down and we wouldn't have seen them. We couldn't get in there. There's too many pricker bushes and trees and brush, and it was terrible out here. They've since thinned that whole area out over there, but and then we just didn't see them anymore, and we were just thrilled to see it. But then I've come back here since, and I found tree legs hanging up, deer legs hanging up in the branch of a tree, and it was bloody still. It was summertime, so it's not hunting time. And up in a tree, and while I was videotaping it, I heard rock clacking behind me. So I kind of think I know where they live, because we've been out here at night, and we have heard at night wood knocking and strange bird calls in the same area where I think they're living, where I saw the deer leg. And then I also have pictures of a partial spine that was up in a tree. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure what's putting those up there, but I think I have a pretty good idea. But here's a fascinating, could be a tree structure. There's a million of these in these woods, and you could see them from the path. The Ice Age Trail goes right through this park, and then on out there for miles until it gets to Lima Marsh. And you've heard of the Lima Marsh monster. Look that up too. That's out in Lima Marsh. So it's all connected, and there's cornfields and farms, and so there's plenty of places for the Dogman and Bigfoot to be. There's also tall pines here, which I believe that Bigfoot likes to hang out in. I think they knock over bigger trees into the pines, and then it makes a stronger intersection for the adults to sit in. So when you're out looking for Bigfoot, look up in the trees. I've never actually seen one in the trees, but I did get a picture of one in the trees. But it looked like juvenile. It looked a lot like the one I saw over here. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you wanted to know where the Dogman was. I was out here again by myself out by the marshes, and I got a very bad feeling. And like I shouldn't be there, I wasn't wanted, and I needed to get the heck out of there. So I did. I listened to my intuition. I've never felt that before anywhere. I've never felt it after. And I've done plenty of looking for Bigfoot and the Dogman. Maybe the Dogman was back there. I don't know. It didn't even make a move towards those kids, though. Didn't growl at them. That's why I believe his story. Plus, his story has never changed in the entire time. I talked to him 4 or 5 times, and nothing ever changed in that story. And you could tell he was very sincere, so I believed him. Plus, he's dragging bloody venison around. I'm sure he was upsetting something. So I just wanted to show you this area so you have an idea of where he saw the Dogman. But it was right down this road here by that white post in that area. And it was much heavier brush at the time. But you can see how dense that is until you get down to the lake. Okay, thanks.